So 2 weeks ago we did the MCA Preston Sprint Duathlon, and I think we both came into it with very different goals and expectations. Here's how it went.
I'm really excited about this one. It's the first one where I'm turning up and thinking, you know what, I kind of know what I'm doing here. I know what I want to get out of it, to be able to head to October's age group qualifiers, having had a couple of these in them about turning up and executing the plan, which is to race really, really, really hard.
What has my training been? There has been some. I'm not going to say none.
Let me live in peace. I'm fueling, and also we only have one egg left.
It's raining, and I think this benefits us because we're good at rain. We know rain. We were born in the rain. Everybody else has just become the rain. Is that the Batman?
Making sure that I'm coming into this super ready for it to be sharp and super ready to be sat at 180 BPM for as long as it takes to really get to that finish line.
So, duathlon. I'm doing a duathlon on Sunday. Why am I doing a duathlon? Because I can't bother to learn to swim. Duathlon it is, I guess. Yeah, I went along last time. Steve did one of these MCA fitness ones. I went along, had a little look at the field, and it wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be.
Excellent work. 1 down, 7 to go.
What we really loved about the last MCA event we did, where I raced and Heather supported, was the variety of people on the start line. There was a couple of go-getters, there was a couple of us that turned up to smash it out and really put a time in, but there were so many people that turned up to have a nice time doing a multi-sport.
I think one of the keys to doing well this weekend, and one of the things I really want to focus on, is making sure that I nail the transitions. Transition was a tough one. I came in flustered. I think I probably went a bit hard on the first run. It was a super fast time, it's 4.8k, and it's like 17:40 something, which is way faster than I anticipated coming in at. But I mean, that's a positive, that's a real positive. I wasn't completely blown up. I just didn't have my wits about me coming into transition. These things happen. This is totally how transition works for your first couple of multi-sport events. I'm not worried about it. I will get better. I will get more coherent, I guess. So either way, with that fluster meant I wasn't actually sure where I was in the race, and I think this is the biggest issue that I had all day. I knew that I'd taken too long, so it really was just a matter of getting up to speed as quickly as I possibly can, really putting a shift in and working out what was what. But at the same time, I was trying to get a grasp on what was happening around me. Where was I in the race? I thought I was second at this point. I really thought I was second. So I figured if I could just get eyes on the man in front of me, then my goal would simply be to chase him down, which is what I'm good at. I'm strong on the bike. I know I'm strong on the bike. Let's take a lap to sight the course. I've never ridden this course before, and it was so wet and so rainy all day. As you can see, the footage gets progressively worse as the camera gets wetter and wetter. But I got aero, got down, took a sighting lap at sort of 70%, A, to get my heart rate down a little bit, and B, to make sure I was comfortable with the course. But the course was running incredibly. It's a wicked course. It's 1.5 kilometers. There's no corners to catch you out. There's no dodgy cambers. It's just super fast, super flat. Smash down the gel. This is a caffeine gel. I really enjoy a caffeine gel on the first couple of laps on sprint distance. More for the actual caffeine hit on the run, on the second run, than the carbs. But I've done it on every sprint I've ever raced, and I've always felt like it's made a big difference. So I'm going to carry on doing that. That works. At this point, I'm preparing myself to dig in, really preparing myself for a massive shift. I do see the rider ahead at about lap 3 or lap 4 of 12 laps, but we're going to come back to that. Heather was absolutely flying. She's also on a gravel bike with road wheels, but she had 10.52 cassette on the back, 42 on the front. She's wildly undergeared for what you can see is a really fast course. I think I averaged just under 36 kilometers an hour, which is way fast without TT bars and with some actual turns. I'm always cautious in non-drafting races not to come up too closely on the wheel of anyone because people aren't expecting it, because there should be no one there. So again, even though I'm actually in my overtaking manoeuvre now, I'm going faster than this rider, I tend to stay off to one side a little bit as to not, if they slow down, they don't expect anyone behind them. What I do is really stamp my authority on the overtake here, put down some watts and get ahead, so again, this rider can't then take the incidental toe through the overtake, and then we absolutely fly around this next lap to make that stick. Here in first place, incidentally, is a chap in the blue behind me, who I didn't even know was ahead of me at this point. Again, my head was so scrambled in T1, I just didn't know what was going on. The rider just overtaken, he comes through transition much quicker than me, just to the left of the screen here. He takes back the place that I took from him on the bike whilst I'm tapping around with my shoes. This is just going to be a matter of time. It's just going to be a case of me getting quicker and smoother through transition. Again, lessons learned.
Well done, buddy.
Finally, for this bit, I want to give a massive shout out to these two marshals. I just said, can you please hit the red button on there to stop my camera? This is an Insta360X5. It doesn't have a red button. They did find it in the end. Thank you both so much. You're absolute legends. I appreciate you.
I'm not a race type of person. I am literally wearing a t-shirt that says on the back, if you can see it, it says bad at sports.
What lap you on?
Four.
Excellent.
And I'm running 5:20s, which is mad.
Brilliant. Save something for the last two.
Yeah.
Well done, well done, well done. Go, go, go.
And I thought, oh, you know what? I can run and I can ride a bike. Let's see what happens. Let's try and put the two of them together. I don't really know what to expect. I'm kind of looking forward to just having a go at it and see what happens and see if it is even possible for me to do it.
Well done, Heather. Woo, woo, woo. Well done. Well done. Here you go. Well done. How you feel?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well done. Excellent work. Excellent work.
Yeah, so actually, I mean, we're 10 years old this month. So we've been running these events for 10 years. Started off with Go Try, so it is all about accessibility. I know that's what you mentioned, that we do really well. So it's all about getting people involved. It's the 3 A's that I call it: accessible, affordable, achievable. Get people doing it, doing their first event, and then we've introduced the sprint distances and the kids events as routes for progression to get people involved and moving on. I noticed that some of our started with us with their first event and then they're doing GBA's group, so like it's great. We love seeing people come through the ranks. We have the kids events before this as well, seeing loads of kids coming through. We've had over 100 people today, so it's just fantastic.
Some rapid looking kids this morning.
Well, there was some kids in the super sprint that this afternoon which were just going hell for leather.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I think 330 kilometres.
Stupid
like that.
To me on the bike, like
Yeah,
they
exactly.
flew past me.
Exactly, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No problem. Hope to see you again soon.
You will, thank you.
So what happened was, after going in with designs on putting a really big effort in, I came third. Really happy with that. Where did you come, Heather?
I came second. There's more to this, really, because we entered the same race. But some of us may have actually done more than others, and in fact, the women were the only ones to actually complete the entire course. Because what did all the men do?
The men got a bit racy and couldn't count. They were actually a lap short.
So actually, for the first time in history, the women's event was longer than the men's. So I think by that measure, actually, I came second in the entire thing, because none of the men completed the actual.
Is that technically progress, the women's late race being longer than the...
Yeah, accidentally, that is progress.
It was an absolutely fantastic event. I think the thing that we're a bit curious about is why so few people are doing duathlon events like this, because it's cheap, relatively speaking. I think it's 40, 45 quid each. It was super well organised. And I just want to give a bit of a shout out to all the marshals and all the volunteers and everybody else that helped make today go smoothly, but MCA especially seems to have that down. It's the second MCA event. But I think importantly, this is such good practice for other larger like milestone events. Like if you're doing an Ironman, or you're doing a T100, or you've anything like that, you can't practice transitions in the same way that you can in what is a race environment. And what Andy and the team at MCA have done to make that something that you can kind of just turn up to with no experience and feel looked after and welcomed, regardless of how fast or slow or comfortable or uncomfortable you are with it, is really incredible. This isn't affiliated. I know there's loads of beginner triathlon stuff that gets loads and loads of traction, but the duathlon stuff just seems to be overlooked at the moment. I think it's an excellent way, if you don't want to swim or you don't know how to swim or you're not ready with your swimming and whatnot, to really get a cracking morning's workout in, if nothing else.
I think that's the thing, is I can swim. Like, I'm not going to drown in a lake level of swim, but like I can't do it to the point of being competitive in triathlon without quite a bit of work that I'm honestly not really willing to put in at the minute. So duathlon seems to me like the obvious step, because it's the two things that I like to do and I can put them together. And yeah, it would be nice to actually have some more people to compete against.
And all you need kit-wise is a bike and a pair of running shoes. It doesn't need to be a fancy, fast, super thing. There was people there that were just having a nice time in sprint and super sprint distance. Sprint distance was 5k, 21k bike ride, less if you're a bloke apparently, and then another 2.5k run or a 3.2k run. Super sprint is half that again. And it doesn't mean, it's difficult because it's called super sprint, right? There's nothing to do with how hard you have to go. If you've just done a couch to 5k and you know how to ride a bike, you can do a super sprint duathlon and have a really cool morning's effort with other people who are all doing the same thing. There's so many people there who weren't racing for places and were just having a nice morning out. I just don't understand why there wasn't 4 times as many people doing it, because it's mint. That being said, if you want to know more about the ins and outs and logistics and admins and whatnot, please get in touch. More than happy to help out. You'll have seen the conversation at this point with Andy at MCA. He really believes in this, does a really good job. Like I said, we've got no affiliation, but I imagine there's Andys all over the country, maybe not, doing this sort of thing. And if we don't attend because we don't know how accessible it is, then they'll die out and we won't have the opportunity to do it. And it'll be a world full of Iron men and women, which is fine, but I don't know, I think these things are important. So yeah, hopefully see you at one soon. Be in touch.